everyone, today we're going to be comparing 85mm lenses. We've got flagship 85s today. So I have the Nikon Z8 and the 85mm f1.2 from Nikon, and here I have the Sony A7IV and the new Sony 85mm f1.4 GMII. We're going to test these both out on location and see what the similarities are, what the differences are. Do you really need an f1.2 lens? Is a 1.4 enough? Can you see the difference? We're going to answer all those questions today, so let's get started. So I'm going to start off on the 85 GMII here, and I'm going to get just like a mid-length shot where we can see a little bit of the purple flowers. That's so pretty. Actually, I'll get a full body shot here. That's so nice. I'm starting off with a very simple full body shot. We have the background quite close to Angel, so we're not going to see a lot of bokeh just yet. But don't worry, there is going to be plenty of bokeh to come in this video. You can see from these first few photos that both lenses are optically amazing. Neither Sony nor Nikon cut any corners while making their flagship 85mm lenses. Both lenses are stunningly sharp with so much detail, even when shooting wide open. All right, so now I'm going to switch over to the Nikon 85 1.2. I'm going to keep the same ISO. So I was at 320 on this one. They are both extremely easy to use out on location as well. I was able to rely on IAF on both the Nikon Z8 and Sony A7IV for the entire photo shoot and had a super high in-focus ratio for both cameras and lenses. Looking at the final side-by-side photos with such a simple location and not much space between the subject and background, I feel like the f1.2 lens makes the photo look a little bit more special. It has a little bit more pop for me personally compared to the f1.4 photo. Optically, I would say both photos look almost identical. Okay, and then I feel like it'd be cool if we get you like into the bushes. This is so nice, but in the back we've got like cars. For this next shot, I'm gonna get like a mid-length kind of portrait, and we've got Angel like just crouching there amongst all the purple. I'm really hoping the sun will pop out because it looks so cool. But I guess even without it, it looks amazing. We had the sun popping in and out of the clouds in this location, so I made sure for our final photo comparison to pick two photos with the same lighting. This looks insane. Oh my gosh. In this spot is where you can start to see our first differences between the bokeh and depth of field of both lenses. I made sure to include some of the purple flowers in the foreground of my frame, as I like the splash of color and the way it's framing Angel. In the Nikon f1.2 shot, it looks a little blurrier, which works really well for this shot. I'll get some with this while the sun's out. These are magical. You can also see the bokeh in the background of the 1.2 shot is a little bit larger and smoother. The bokeh of the Sony f1.4 photo looks smooth and beautiful too, but the bokeh is a little bit smaller in size and thus makes the background a little busier. I have one more quick comparison in this location here, which is the lens flare. I love looking at lens flares as they give lenses a nice characteristic. Oh, the sun. Yes! I thought the Sony 85 f1.4 GMII didn't have a rainbow flare, as I mentioned in my review video, but it actually does, which is super nice to see because the GM1 had this as well and I love it. But anyway, the Sony f1.4 GMII has some extra reflections and ghosting happening too, which in some instances can look really nice and are an extra creative touch to your photo. In this particular spot, since we are shooting in a dark location, the flare stands out a bit too much for me. It would definitely look better in a lighter location, maybe with some trees or sky in the background. So I have to say, in this instance, the Nikon lens flare wins for me. We have this gorgeous rainbow flare with no ghosting. It just looks so magical. So we're gonna get a headshot here. We've got that purple in the background and the sun coming through. It looks so pretty. So I'm shooting just with the GM2 to start off with. During these close-up portraits is another spot you can really see the bokeh difference between both lenses. In this instance, I prefer the bokeh of the f1.2 Nikon lens as the bokeh appears larger and smoother in the background, so to me it blends in better. Compared to the Sony f1.4 bokeh, which is smaller, so it's busier in the background and a little more distracting. I like the idea of being able to shoot at f1.2 in these situations when you want the background to appear more seamless and having the option to step down your lens if needed. I also want to say that I had more ideas and ways I wanted to use this location, but unfortunately, our time here was cut short thanks to a very drunk man that appeared out of nowhere and started bothering us. It was all so uncomfortable, so we decided to head to the next location. For our last comparison, I've just got this really beautiful backlit spot here, and we're gonna do some mid-length portraits. I'm gonna shoot some at wide open and some at f2 as well. So I'll start off with the Sony, just so it's the same every time. Wow, I love these. Oh, I love that like stretching up. That's so pretty. Wow. Just getting some yoga done here as well, like, all right. In this location, you can start to see some optical differences between these lenses. While both lenses can handle shooting in this backlit scenario perfectly fine, the Nikon 85 was lacking a bit of contrast compared to the Sony 85, which has deeper shadows in the straight out of camera raws. As you can see in post though, it is pretty easy to edit both ways to get the final photos looking the same. Lovely. And then do you want to try hugging yourself as well, like caressing your own arms? Love that. Wow. For the Nikon file, I added more contrast and deepened the shadows, and for the Sony files, I lowered the contrast to get it looking the same. And then I'll do one more at, did I say f2 or 2.8? I think I said f2.
F2, I did.
F2.
Every time there's an aeroplane, you're like,
I'm gonna talk. And now I've switched over to f2 as well, just so we can have one comparison photo where we see them both at the same aperture. So dreamy. Switch over. Beautiful. Yeah, I love the smiling ones. I'm gonna bring like a shoulder kind of up, yeah. At the same aperture of f2 in this case, both lenses look almost identical in terms of sharpness and bokeh. Let's stay in like this little sunny patch here. Yeah, oh, that's so pretty. While we take a look at a couple of last comparison photos, in summary, yes, you can absolutely see the difference between f1.2 compared to f1.4 when taking portraits out on location. The real question though is having a larger and heavier lens worth it to you for that f1.2 look? With an f1.2 lens, you can easily step down to f1.4 to achieve the busier bokeh when needed, but you always have the option to shoot wide open when you need to blur the background to absolution. For me personally, I think if I was shooting weddings full time, I would opt for the Sony 85 f1.4 GM2 because you are still getting that dreamy look, but it's much smaller and lighter to be carrying around for 12 hours at a time. As a mostly portrait photographer now though, I definitely have the weight available in my bag for an f1.2 lens, and it's much easier for me to carry around a heavy lens for a shorter portrait session, so for me, it would be worth it. So that is all I have for today's video, Battle of the 85s. Let me know what you think in the comments. Which one do you prefer? Do you see a difference? I love to hear from you guys. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I make new videos every single week, so I'll see you all next time. Bye.